Welcome, everybody. You are listening to B3, otherwise known as Businesses Building Bridges. We're glad you're here today. We have a special guest, but first, let me introduce my co-host, Ms. Shara.
Good evening,
Yes.
my co-host, Diane.
Yeah, so today we have Mike Granam here, and he is from Good Vibes Nutrition, and he's kind of a hub in town. Welcome to the show, Mike. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate having me on.
Well, what we want to talk about today is how pivotal and instrumental your nutrition business, your Good Vibes Nutrition, is as a bridge in the community for helping people just get to know each other and to talk and to learn about each other's businesses. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it started back in 2017. I started my own journey. Ended up getting started on Herbalife nutrition program. Ended up losing 100 pounds, 6 months. Absolutely changed my life. God changed my life. And from there, over a course of about a year, while I was a mechanic, I began helping other people that had similar goals to me that kind of related to me. And we ended up, God put a little seed in my head to open up Good Vibes Nutrition. And we ended up opening up March 9th of 2020, same week the virus hit.
Oh, my goodness.
But God is good and helped us through that whole ordeal. And now we're going on almost 6 years of being open and serving the community, great nutrition, healthy shakes, energy teas, protein coffees, so forth. But most importantly, just we focus on health, happiness, community. So we feel like health, dealing with our bodies, health, happiness, dealing with our mind, and community, dealing with our soul. And just, extending the love of God, the light in the community. We like connecting people together. We do a lot of different events. So we take the philosophy, if it helps people, impacts people's lives, we try to be a part of it and help people. So, yeah.
I want to just tap into that a little bit because I know you have been running Referral Diamond Club networking group for 6 years.
I've been in RDC, Referral Diamond Club, for 6 years. Just been the director for the last year.
Yes, and that already has built bridges in the community by connecting businesses. And that's kind of why we're here, is to build those bridges and be able to use each other's businesses and keep those in our pockets when needed for referrals. How did it start, RDC?
Well, Brad Ward actually started RDC back in 2020, right before COVID hit. The meeting was right at Coldwell Bankers, right next to us. And that's how I first met him. He started coming in and he extended an invitation literally within a couple weeks of RDC starting. And I had never been a part of networking groups, had no idea what it was. And we actually decided to join it. And, what it did for me is, one, it kind of helped me get out of my comfort zone, but also getting a chance to build relationships with other business-minded people in the community. It's the first time I ever owned my own business. And it was great to be able to meet up once a week, talk to people about business, talk to people about, things that were working, things that weren't working. How can we help better impact the community? And also, just getting a chance to figure out what can I do to help them in their business? What can they do to help me in my business? And not only did I, at this point, it wasn't just me projecting my business into the community. It was me projecting another 10, 20 businesses at that time into the community and helping them. So, yeah.
So I want to ask you a question. Sometimes people feel that networking feels forced, but when you're coming into Good Vibes, we're going to bounce back between networking groups and your own place of business. It's really not forced inside there because you're behind the counter introducing everybody to everyone else. Over a healthy drink, you're inviting them to communicate and learn about each other. Tell us more about that mission you have.
Yeah. So one of the things that I love personally is when people can meet each other, connect with each other. One, I mean, in my business, I don't want to say I use it as a distractor. It just basically takes the pressure off of me if everybody, Imagine if I have a bar full of people that I'm serving and they're all just sitting there staring at me. That's a little awkward. So when I can introduce this person to this person, or hey, have you met so and so? And I tell them what I know, and I try to remember little details about people's lives, about where maybe where they're originally from, what they do for a living, some significant facts. Sometimes I'll just say, hey, fun fact about this person, blah blah blah, something that no one knows about them. But I love that interaction with people, because I know sometimes people, it's a little awkward when you're meeting people at first, but if you can have somebody facilitate that, I feel like one of the strengths God's given me is a connector. So connecting people together, and from that, we've had people like do business with each other, people that have, they've actually met and started dating. We've had people get married
Wow.
just from meeting each other at Good Vibes. So we've had that happen over the last 6 years, but just that connection. And I've always been this type of person that I want people to feel comfortable. Some people can call that a flaw. I don't know. I just feel like
people pleasing.
yeah, I mean, that's God created me to be like that. I want people to be happy. I want people to be comfortable. And so if I can facilitate that and introduce this person to this person, and if they go to church with each other or date each other or end up doing business with each other or building a future business relationship with each other, then that just makes my soul happy.
I just want to touch on that, because usually people go to bars and hairdressers to unload themselves, and they're the ones that are the psychiatrists, but you are doing a role reversal and just making it, which I think is such an impactful thing, to be able to, whether you want to connect or not, there's an opportunity there that they would not have come across.
Absolutely. I mean, so, think of Good Vibes Nutrition as, I say a center hub. In Palm Coast. It is a bar, but it's a healthy bar. So think, why do people go to bars? They want to feel good. They want to talk to each other. They want to hear music. They want to enjoy each other's company. And that's what people do at Good Vibes, without the bad stuff, if you will, in their body. We're putting good stuff in their body, but it's the same result, where people can get those relationships built with each other. And so, yeah.
There is so much more to Good Vibes, because you do advertising as well on your screen for your customers to
Mhm.
come in if they need any services. You also have a lot of workout video, in-house training as well, and I've expanded that. So you really are, with health and nutrition, have expanded everything that I think that your goal was set out to be.
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, health, happiness, and community, that kind of falls under the community section. I'm a big advocate of promoting other businesses. I'm a true believer that businesses in a community like Flagler County, that's the lifeblood of Flagler County, or any small community. I tell people all the time, the big name food stores, the big name fast food places, the retail stores, no matter what the economy's doing, they're going to be open. But the small businesses, if we don't support each other, then that money, that understand, small businesses, I have a higher chance of that money staying right here. The money that goes to the other big retailers or fast food chains, whatever it may be, that money is going way out there into the economy. Ours is staying right here. Me and my wife, when we go out to eat, we stay right here. When I want some Christmas gifts, I've gotten my Christmas tree from Diane, and I gotten a Christmas ornament from Shara. So like that money stays right here in the community. So, and then we do things like workouts, free workouts, and Saturdays we have fit camp, 7 a.m. and we get it together as a community. And we started 2 years ago. Misty, one of my coaches, started that program 2 years ago, with 4 people showing up to work out for a little bit out in the parking lot. And we've gotten as high as 43 people over the summer. And so we just, again, if it's good and it helps people, we try our best to be a part of it. So focusing on that health, focus on the happiness, focusing on that community. And if I can, in every situation that I'm in, especially since we're talking about networking, get people together, for example, to work out, I'm always, raise your hand if you own your own business. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Because I want the whole community to know, what do they do for a living. And we've had, I think most of you guys know Tori. Tori does bracelets, and she's worked out with us. And once they found out she made bracelets, man, everybody wanted a bracelet, So we want to support each other, and that's a big thing in our environment, in our community.
So I want to ask, with all the connecting you do from one person to another on the other side of your counter, does that affect how you grow as a business? I know it seems like an obvious answer, but there has to be growth for your own business to continue to support these businesses as they move forward inside the walls of your facility. Are they supporting you uh, through drinks, through maybe catering of those sort of things? Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have people come in all the time that own their own businesses, especially in our networking groups. I absolutely love and adore all the people in our networking groups. They come in, to do their one-on-ones, to meet with each other, to network with each other. And I tell businesses all the time, there, especially in my networking groups, like if you want to meet people, just come in and hang out with me for a couple of hours, and I'll introduce you to every single person that comes in. I'm not going to. I'm going to tell them what you do, and then you can kind of pick up the conversation. But I think also one of the things, and it kind of goes back to what Cheryl was saying earlier, is about when people come in, like we are a captured audience, me and my wife. And so we listen, and we're good listeners. Like we listen to people. I'm not trying to ram my advice down people's throat or anything like that. But like sometimes people use us as like counselors. They just want to get it off their chest.
I was just going to get into that counseling mode. Yeah.
Listen, in today's world, unfortunately or fortunately or unfortunately, the husband, the wife's not listening, the girlfriend, the boyfriend's not listening, the dog's not listening, kids aren't listening, the cat's not listening. They're having a bad day, their job, their boss, nobody's listening, and they come in and we're sitting there listening to them. And I feel like people just enjoy that aspect, that we're just there to listen to them and what maybe they're going through. And so sometimes, a day of doing that, at the end of the day,
I'd be toast.
I'm an empath, so I feel what people are going through. So when they're telling me what they're going through, I feel it. And so today I'm drained, I'm tired. So I go to the gym. I just do my thing. And I really, I've separated it. But I know when I'm at Good Vibes, like I'm there to serve, I'm there to take care of people and whatever they need help with. I don't have all the answers, but I'll listen to them. So, yeah.
I want to circle back to a few things you said with the community and how our money, when we spend it here, it stays here. We probably produce millions of dollars in tax revenue that comes back into our community, regardless if it is a small business or a large one. But when you say community, I know that you are very passionate about one charity in particular, and I would like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so back in 2018, I have an opportunity to meet Dan and Melissa Fulling with Live Like Cameron. And their son had passed away when he was 9 years old of brain cancer. And this is before I had already started my journey. I'd lost my weight. A gentleman that was helping me with my journey had opened up a nutrition club on the other side of town. I can't remember the name of the plaza, but it's behind Cantina Louie. But in that plaza, and we decided one September, which was Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, that we were going to support Live Like Cameron. And that's how I met them. And I just absolutely fell in love with them, fell in love with, like, if you go on YouTube and type in Live Like Cameron, there's a video on there that will absolutely rip your heart out. And I cried watching the video. I cry every time I watch the video, and it just really impacted me. My mom passed away when I was 14 of cancer. And so I said at that time, I want to support this charity and I want to do anything and everything I can to continue to support that. And so once we opened up Good Vibes Nutrition, I always felt like every business should attach themselves, align themselves with some type of charity to partially, the words aren't right, but to show the community they're not just there to take money from the community. So one, I wanted to show the community that I'm not there to take, I'm there to give, I'm there to support, I'm there to give back through a charity, but also any events that they do, I promote their events, anything they want to do. I tell Melissa all the time, she comes in like, with puppy dog eyes and asks me if she can do something, do this event, do this. I'm like, don't even ask me, just do it. Like my place is your place. And so we do a lot of events with them. We support a lot of events they do. In fact, I'm kind of scruffy today, and the reason being is it's called No Shave November. And so we basically don't shave. Men don't shave for the month of November. And then the first weekend in, I think it's first or second weekend in December. We meet up down in Ormond Beach, and we actually get all this shaved off. It's like $100 to get it shaved off, but all the money goes to charity, and they raise thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to help local children in Flagler County with cancer. And then if there's anything left over, it expands out from there. But back when their son was diagnosed with cancer, there was no supportive environment. There was no system in place to help just in our community. And so I'm grateful that they stepped up, and there's so many children that get help in this area. And every day there's children that are diagnosed with cancer right here in Flagler County. And so they provide the structure. Only thing we got to do as a community is help them raise the money. Melissa does all the work. Melissa's the one that runs around, takes care of the kids. Think about if your family child was diagnosed with cancer, your entire world would stop. And most likely, one of the parents would probably stop working to take care of doctor's appointments and taking care of the child and so forth. And so there's financial strain on the family. And so they go above and beyond, not only to help the child, and them being comfortable during situations and medical so forth, but also help take care of the families, maybe buying gift cards for to get some groceries, maybe even just sending them out to eat for dinner because they haven't done it in so long. Their spirits need to still be lifted. So I'm grateful that they're always almost every day of the week doing something or trying to create something, awareness, trying to raise money for the Live Like Cameron Foundation.
I have a question that sprung from that. Excuse me. There's so many charities that are in this county and abroad. How do you select a charity to support through your business or for personal reasons? How do you select that?
I mean, you got to really look, one, through prayer, and two, like, what is it that really will force you to, not force, but would the passion to bubble up inside of you to want to do something. Like if you really like dogs, okay, then you want to probably look for a charity in like Smart, for example. Or if you're, something in the community that you can investigate all the charities in the area. But if it's something that you're passionate about, and meet with the people that are doing the charity or the people that run the charity, talk with them, just find out if things align with them and pray about it and study them. I tell people all the time, like, if they have any interest at all in like Live Like Cameron, like I can call Melissa right now and within 24 hours she will meet with that person. If you want to know anything and everything about what she does for these children and how she does it and all the events that she does, she will meet with you. And so I personally like that kind of charity because let's face it, we all know there's charities in the world. When the money goes out, it's like 100,000 miles from here.
Right.
You donate $1 and that charity gets maybe like 2 cents of it. Come on.
There's big box charities and big box entities, but we're talking about small box, small local charities that take a look at them and dig a little deeper, see if you are passionate enough to support that charity and then run with that.
Yeah. Because anytime you do something for charity, you don't want it to be, there's a labor of love when you're happy to do that labor of love. But if you're like, oh gosh, I got to go to another event, or oh gosh, I got to do this, or you're not passionate about it. So it's going to come through to other people because you're not going to be promoting it. You're not going to be sharing it. You're not going to be talking about it. So, yeah.
That's good advice for selecting a charity to support.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many nonprofits around here that it has to affect you somehow, some way. Otherwise, you have no interest.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking
100%.
100 different local nonprofits around here for all different causes. Some of them are doing the same cause, but in different ways.
Right.
But it really, whether it comes to foster children, if you don't know anybody in that unfortunate situation, are you really going to invest your time and money, whether it comes to children's cancer, animals, whatever it is? It's really, if autism, if you have
pick one.
Anyone, breast cancer. I mean, it can go on and on. So just depending on what that passion is for you, I think, and it just comes naturally when you do choose a charity to involve yourself in and give you time and money, and to know that you're appreciated as well for it.
You have to get something back out of it, not monetarily, but you have to have a sense of satisfaction that I helped this charity move forward. I made a difference in that charity.
And we brought that
Absolutely.
up with legacies and
Right.
doing,
You want to make a difference,
absolutely.
affect someone's life.
And
I
I
have
do
a
plan
question.
on having Melissa on, by the way, so we can dive into that.
That'd
even
be
further.
awesome. That'd be awesome.
So, Mike, as we wrap up this podcast, tell us what's going on for Good Vibes. What's new? Do you have any new fancy drinks? Are you going into another store? Are you going to franchise it, or what are you going to do besides
No.
take over the world?
Yeah, right. So I mean, I would say me and my wife are at a point in our lives where we're just we're having fun. We're having fun
Important.
interacting with the community. I know if I were to expand and open up multiple locations, then I'm going to spread myself too thin, my wife too thin. It's just not going to be the same. And so I like being that center hub of Palm Coast for the health, happiness, and community. So, as far as the future of Good Vibes, I just, I put it all in God's hands. In an economy that we're in right now, in some sectors of the economy, look at stock market, all-time highs every day. But then you talk to this business or that business and they're down in sales and stuff like that. I simply, and my biggest message that I can give to, once again, myself and then other business owners, is it's all in God's plan, Like whatever he wants to happen is what's going to happen. From the day that we opened up our business, we opened up, like I said, March 9th, 2020, same week the virus hit. We opened up, didn't know the
Wow.
virus was coming or here or whatever. But we opened up Monday, and by Wednesday, I'm walking around my business praying and say, hey, listen, you gave me this vision. I followed your vision to open up this business. Now it's your turn. If the business succeeds, I'll give you all the credit. If it fails, I'll give you all the credit. Either way, it's your business. And so all I do every day is I give credit to God for helping us, sustain us through the whole ordeal. And now going on 6 years later, it's just all simply in God's hands, what he wants to do with Good Vibes Nutrition. And so we're there to help the community with their health goals. I don't want to say mental goals, but we
It
want
does help.
we just
mentally,
want
yes.
to do our little part to help people be happy, and then continue to figure out ways to getting people together. We are constantly promoting getting businesses to either come in. Like I just talked this morning in our networking meeting about having businesses come out and maybe set up where they can share what they do on a Saturday. I want to do something around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, when people are doing like shopping, where they can come and support small business friends of mine and buy things, But we're doing a lot, and I continue to do a lot because I feel like God still has plans for not only through charity, but we do things with recovery, celebrate recovery, promoting and celebrating. Anytime I have a lot of people come in, and I feel like everybody has an addiction to something. Everybody, I don't care who you are, okay? You can sit and pretend all you want that you don't have an addiction to something, but you do, okay? It could be drugs, it could be cigarettes, it could be alcohol, it could be food. Mine was food. It could be gambling, it could be pornography, it could be a lot of different things. The common denominator to all those is mindset and God. God is the only one that's going to help you get through that. And so the reason I bring that up is because I'll have a lot of people come in and share things like that with us. And we want to, simply figure out, okay, is there something, can I promote a workout and have them come and join us for a workout so they can hear the testimony of God? Or can they come and join us for Celebrate Recovery? Can they come over here to our Blue Zone Vibes, which is a once a month plant-based potluck that we get together and do? Maybe they just want to learn to eat healthier. But anything and everything that we can do to help people get together as a community, we're in there trying to do it.
I did want to, since you touched on it, excuse me, I did want you to elaborate on Blue Zones and how that started and how you've incorporated it into Good Vibes.
So a customer of mine, Yvette Leslie, she come from Arizona. I think Tempe, Arizona. And they had a very big blue zone area there. And it's a book. You can go get the book.
I've read the book.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. And it's not so much like sometimes people think it's like, oh, I got to become a vegan. No, you don't have to become a vegan. They do talk about leaning more towards plants. But just eating healthier, let's face it. Okay. So there's like a total of 9 different concepts I'm not going to go into, but we get together once a month. We talk about those. There's some communication tools and so forth, but it's simply one additional branch of helping people live a healthier lifestyle. Okay. And it has to do with physical. It has to do with working out, rest, socializing, and so forth. But it's an amazing community here, and it's getting bigger and bigger. We get together once a month, and we have about 20, 30 people that come together. Everybody brings a plant-based recipe to serve, but it's gone much beyond that. In fact, just recently, Yvette had mentioned that Advent Health has actually from my understanding, bought the name Blue Zones because they want to take it globally, worldwide. And there's, I think, 5, 6 blue zones in the world. But the whole concepts around it is just helping people live healthier, happier lives, which ties in right along with where we're at. So I still eat meat.
Yeah.
But I eat more vegetables, and I want to learn more creative ways to eat vegetables. So, yeah.
Because Blue Zones is people that have lived into their hundreds.
Yes.
Longevity
Yes.
and community is a very important piece of that.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
rest, eating healthier.
Yes.
Learning to relax. So, yeah.
So much more to talk about, Mike. Thank you so much for being with us today on this podcast. So if someone wants to reach you, come into your store, have a healthy shake, talk to you over the counter, and just experience good vibes, how do they do that?
So we're in St. Joe's Plaza. We're 209 St. Joe Plaza, right next to Ace Hardware. We've been same location for almost 6 years now. Also on Facebook, it's Good Vibes Nutrition of Palm Coast. And we're also on Instagram, Good Vibes Nutrition PC. We're also on TikTok, but I can't remember my name on TikTok. But anyway, you can find us, just type it in. But, and I always love to invite people to come and work out with us. Saturday morning, 7 a.m. We call it the Flagler Fit Camp. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is show up with a bottle of water and probably a towel because you're going to sweat. But yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it was great to have you here today.
Thank
Sharon
you.
and I are so grateful to have you in the community and have the community embrace you as well and your leadership in all the other networking groups that we're all part of. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me on.
And we'll see you again next time.
Hello, welcome to Good Vibes Nutrition, where every day is Friday. Good Vibes Nutrition was created to provide an environment of self-improvement through health, happiness, and community. Whether it's to lose weight, build muscle, gain more energy, or make friends, think of Good Vibes Nutrition as your Flagler Center hub for healthy living, personal happiness, and long-lasting relationships through the examples of kindness, encouragement, introductions, and pure love.